Hey, BooTube. I'm gonna be a little misplaced around here. I'm currently doing the mid-season finales, the mid-season finales of Supergirl, The Flash, Legends, and Arrow, respectively, which happened a while ago. They're already at least 2 to 3 episodes in, with the exception of Legends, because apparently Legends of Tomorrow is not coming back from their hiatus until February. But Supergirl, The Flash, and Arrow, all 3 of them have already returned. They have at least, I think, 2 episodes each on their belts already. I think I know for a fact their mid-season premieres all already happened. I think they just finished their 2nd episodes for the mid-season premieres, which is episode 10 and 11 for Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow. And Black Lightning has already had its 1st episode. I believe it's already had its 2nd one, too. The reason why I'm saying it's a little mismatched is, usually when I record videos, I start with Supergirl, then I start with The Flash and Legends, and then I do Arrow, because that's how they're time-placed in the CW time slots. But, since right now Legends of Tomorrow is not coming back till February, which is episode 10, the mid-season premiere being episode 10, for season 3 of Legends, I thought, and since I only have one more episode to technically record before Legends comes back, because the only episode of Legends I still have to record is the mid-season finale, which was season 3, episode 9, titled Beebo, the God of War. That's the only episode I still have to record for Legends, because the mid-season premiere still hasn't showed up again till February. So I can just record that, episode 9, and I'll be set for Legends before it comes back. So I'm going to start with Legends, season 3, episode 9, titled Beebo, the God of War, which was the mid-season finale, since the mid-season premiere, episode 10, has still yet to appear. And after that I will do Supergirl, and then I'll do Flash, and then I'll do Arrow. Actually, I might do Black Lightning. After this Legends one, I might do Black Lightning, mainly because so far, from what I know, they've only had like 1-2 episodes, and that will be easy for me to get through. And then I'll get rid of Supergirl, The Flash, and Arrow. Sound good, guys? Anyway, Beebo, the God of War. From what I remember, look, I have my notepad again. My notes. Look at that. Again. This is literally everything I remember in this little notepad. This is all I remember from that episode. How sad is that, right? Anyway, of course there's another anachronism, and it turns out that it's a young Martin Stein, which breaks my heart, because literally in the 4-part crossover between the 4 shows, which was episode 8, season 6, episode 8 of Arrow, season 3, episode 8 of Supergirl, season 4, episode 8 of The Flash, and season 3, episode 8 of Legends, was the 4-part crossover, which we just saw. And in the spoiler alert for anyone who did not see the crossover, I don't know why you wouldn't, but R.I.P. to Martin Stein. And so, we are still recovering from that. I'm not even done recovering from that bullshit. But here we go, episode 9, right after we lose Stein, and here we are, seeing the young version of him. And the young version is the anachronism that they find, because apparently young Martin Stein has been displaced in time. Apparently, Martin Stein, the young one, he was at a toy store trying to buy this cuddly toy called Beebo as a Hanukkah present for his daughter Lily. And if you don't know, Beebo, technically from what I heard, Beebo is supposed to be a spoof to that toy Furby. You guys remember what a Furby is, right? I'm pretty sure this generation of kids don't really know what a proper Furby is. They probably saw some knockoffs or like cheap versions of a Furby. Or maybe they may have found a vintage Furby from one of their elder siblings or even their parents, but yeah, Furby was a very big thing back in our day. In my day, it was still a big thing. I don't know about all the other elders. Like me, it was pretty popular in my generation, and I have an older cousin who's 2 years older than me on my mom's side. fairly popular with her generation too, because she had one. But from what I heard, Beebo is actually a spoof to the real-life toy Furby. Which is not surprising, because when you look at Beebo, he talks, just like the Furby did. And I'm going to get into a mini story of this. I always hated Furby ever since this one time. I have these two younger cousins on my mom's side. And them and their parents lived in this apartment building that wasn't that far from my high school. And I used to visit them a lot at their apartment, and they had this Furby. They would always put it on this tall shelf thing that was in their apartment, and one time it started randomly talking, only because it kept hearing our voice all the time, right? And so my two younger cousins, the eldest of the two, she would climb up the chair and get the Furby and turn it off. Even when she turned it off, that stupid thing started talking still. So we're like, and so she came up again, took it out, and took out the batteries, right? This is why I thought Furby, ever since then I hated Furby, and I thought they were haunted little suckers. She not only turned it off and it started talking still, she turned it off and took the batteries out. And it still started talking. I am not even shitting you. That was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. Ever since then, no to Furby. But anyway, that's the end of my rant story. Anyway, like I said, young Martin Stein was apparently at a toy store trying to get this cuddly toy Beebo as a present for Lily for Hanukkah. And all of a sudden, as he got the last Beebo toy, all of a sudden he ends up getting displaced in time and sent over in the time of the Vikings. Which is like, well, shit. And he's like trapped there. He's like, what happened? And then he ends up getting rescued, of course, by the team. And apparently, when the Vikings captured young Martin Stein, they got the Beebo toy, and they all believe that this Beebo, this magical toy, because remember, this is the time of the Vikings. They don't know what the fuck a Beebo toy is, right? And they're like, what is this magical creature thing that's talking to us and shit? And so they captured Stein. Of course, the team rescues young Martin Stein, but the Vikings have the Beebo toy, and they believe that it's some mythical, magical creature. And pretty much to the point where not only do they think it's a mythical, magical creature, they think that Beebo, like the title of this episode, they believe that Beebo is the god of war. And that Beebo is talking to them in his own way, telling them how to fight wars and stuff against their enemies. Hence the god of war bullshit. Anyway, Damien Dark does manage to show up, which of course worries Sarah, right? Because she knows if Damien Dark's around, shit will hit the fan, right? But, of course, you know, from what I remember, he does cause trouble, but I don't remember how exactly he caused the trouble. I'm not sure if he was there with his daughter and, Vixen's granddaughter. I don't know if he was there with them, but I know he was there. He caused the trouble, of course, with the Vikings. But anyway, during that whole thing, of course, Jack's still recovering, or trying to recover like the rest of us with the death of Stein. He thinks, you know, that this is a golden opportunity for him. It's like, God, I just lost Gray. And remember, Martin Stein literally was a father figure to Jax, because he already lost his father before he even got to know him, right? We all learned in a previous episode, I'm not sure if it was a previous season, but it was definitely a previous episode, where we actually learned that Jax's father, I believe, was a military man, and he did manage to show up to see his son in the hospital when he was like born, but he had to leave right away because he was being deployed or something like that. So Jax never got to meet his dad, because when his dad left and got deployed, apparently he got killed in action, so he never got to meet his dad. So Martin Stein was basically the closest thing he had to a father, and he just lost him, like literally died in his arms in a way. And so those wounds are definitely fresh for Jax. So when he found out that the anachronism is in fact the young version of his father figure, he's gonna do everything in his frickin' power to prevent his death. Even though he's not supposed to do anything to corrupt time and stuff like that. Jax, throughout the episode, you see him attempting to warn young Stein of his impending death. Hopefully thinking, you know, if he does warn young Stein about his death, that he'll have his Stein back, that he won't die, the Stein we know won't die, right? And of course you can't do that. you can't mess with time, right? And apparently young Stein, being the genius that he was, he already figured that shit out. Because, like, basically his reason was, the reason why he knew that at one point he must have died is because he did not see his older self anywhere with the team. He's like, huh, there's you, and you, but where's future me? Where am I? Where's my future self at, right? And he pretty much deduced, like, everyone's quiet and kind of awkward around him. And then first he notices that he doesn't see his older future self anywhere, right? And then he also notices that everybody is kind of awkward and quiet around him, especially Jax. So you pretty much put two and two together. Why is everybody so quiet and awkward around me? And then where's my future self? Two and two together. I mean, come on, Stein's a genius. Come on. He figured that out within seconds, right? Probably seconds, knowing him. And he pretty much deduced already, like, yeah, Jax, I pretty much already know that I'm dead right now in your future, because, one, I'm not around you guys at all, and you guys are acting weird around me, right? And, you know, it was really cool because he pretty much says, you know, he doesn't want to cheat death. He's like, you know, yes, I may be gone. In your future, I'm dead. But you know what? I don't want to cheat death. And at the same time, I could see that my future is bright. I have my wonderful wife, I have my daughter, I'm a superhero, I'm on a team of time travelers, I have an awesome future. So you know what? Until that day when I go, I'm going to spend my last years with my loved ones. And with that, I do not want to know how I die. I do not want to know the details of my death. I just want to live my life and enjoy it with my loved ones and have an amazing adventure. Which I thought was pretty damn noble, you know, when if myself if I was in his shoes and I find out that somewhere in the future I die, I'd be kind of freaked out a bit. I'd be kind of semi-curious on how. But, you know, it's time travel. I wouldn't want to mess with that shit and create, like, a paradox, you know what I mean? So, like, it's pretty cool seeing Youngstein pretty much accept his fate and dedicate his last remaining years, whatever years in his mind he has, with his loved ones. And I thought that was pretty damn noble. Anyway, Jax. I honestly didn't expect this. I thought maybe he would stay as, like, maybe, like, a mechanic or something on the team. Because I get it. Stein drank that potion thingy that pretty much severed their connection and got rid of the firestorm powers, so now Jax doesn't have Stein or his powers anymore. But I thought that maybe he would still stay on the team because he wanted to and be like the mechanic, but apparently with Stein's death and his firestorm powers officially gone, Jax decides to leave the team, but as he's trying to sneak out, the team surprises him with a Christmas party. So he decides to stay and basically have a Christmas party with them. And I forgot to mention that during the whole Beebo thing, they end up winning the battle, and of course they managed to set time right again and everything. I don't want to get too much in detail with that, though. But anyway, yeah, like, they surprise Jax. He's trying to sneak out and everything and leave the team, but of course the team knows. So they end up putting this last-minute Christmas party for Jax. Also partially like a bon voyage for him. And, of course, Jax and Sarah had this heart-to-heart. You know, they land the ship to current time so Jax can leave. But, like, Sarah and Jax have this heart-to-heart brother, like, it's kind of like a semi-brother-sister talk. Because remember, Sarah sees Jax as her little brother now, like a surrogate little brother. And so, you know, they have a heart-to-heart and they part ways on good terms. And Jax goes on his merry way to do whatever he needs to be. And I really hope that this is not the last time we see Jax. I know he doesn't have his powers anymore and he doesn't have Stein, but I really hope that we see Jax again in the future, if not on Legends, but maybe on the other Arrowverse shows, maybe Flash, Arrow, hell, put him on Supergirl, maybe he'll get powers there or something, or hell, even put him on Black Lightning. That'd be freaking cool. Maybe he'll run into Black Lightning and be like a protege to him or something. That'd be pretty damn dope, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, Sarah comes back on board to the Wave Rider only to be reunited with Constantine. Remember, the last time Sarah saw him is when Constantine was called in by Oliver to bring Sarah's soul back, because remember, Laurel brought Sarah back to life with the Lazarus pit, but she didn't have her soul, hence Constantine. So they reunite, and Constantine's like, hey, I need your help, I need you and your team's help, because I have this demon here, apparently knows your name, and he's possessing a little girl. I need your help. So yeah, that was a pretty damn dope season finale. Oh my god, I'm running out of time. I gotta go. Bye!